So welcome to Meditate with Marie. I think we're live on Facebook, maybe with some different options. Oh, bright. No, we don't want that. Turn that off. Turn that off. Carl, if you can join one, see if you can come in. Yes, allow viewers to join you on the video. This one's going to work, I know it is. So if you're joining us, welcome to Meditate with Marie's Positive Influences series, where Bramble and I are trying to get comfy as we try and welcome in Carl to join us. We've had no success on the iPad, but it's all good experience. Let's see if he can find us and join us live on this format. Incoming one person, let that be Carl. This one looks different, bro. See if you can add yourself in on this one. So welcome to Positive Influences, by the way. Third time lucky, third live, hopefully lucky. We are literally talking about places, people and situations that have a positive impact on us. Now, with a bit of luck, I'm hoping to invite my positivity partner in, Carl, and hopefully we'll have a positively uplifting conversation. Fingers crossed. Let me see. Can he comment? Can we bring him? We've definitely got Bramble here. She might not be able to add verbally to the conversation. Okay, we've got Sarah, and there's an option to bring Sarah in. So we're just waiting for Carl to join us now, and then I can bring him on the video. I think it's going to work much better on my phone. So hopefully if you watch my intro video yesterday, you'll know what we're doing, you'll know what we're about. It's about positive influences. So I invited people to become mindfully aware, hi Carl, of how situations, people and places make them feel. Bramble definitely uplifts me. She's a positive influence on me. Okay, Carl, see if you can add yourself in. I've got an option to add Sarah, but not you. Maybe the phone just doesn't want me to talk to you. Maybe you're a bad influence. I shouldn't even joke about that, should I? So Carl and I know each other through mutual friends. He is someone that has joined in the original Positivity Project videos when we were talking about nature. That is his thing. And he also edited the book that I wrote recently, the Positivity Project book, and he did an absolute belter of a job on it. It was amazing. Carl and I have a very fun, light-hearted friendship. We quite often verbally abuse each other in a friendly, banterish way that just makes us laugh. Now, whether that's immature or, I don't know, whatever it is, it works for us. Maybe it is divine intervention, Carl. Why can I add Sarah in and not you? See, I've got a little add somebody in the comments, but just Sarah. Carl, knock yourself off the view and then come back into view and see if it makes a difference. So if not, we're going to talk about nature ourselves, aren't we? So Carl and I positively impact each other, not only when we mess around and create a lot of laughter, but when we check in with each other regularly. So we just say, how are you doing, and things like that. And he will positively encourage me to create videos like this, create the book, create positivity practices. It was actually him that is responsible for me creating this entire social media channel almost 4 years ago. I was just throwing some ideas around with him, and I said, I'm going to wait till I start teaching classes, and then I think I'm going to start a social media channel, but it's out of my comfort zone and things like that. And it was Carl who said, don't wait, do it now. Even though you're still studying and you're still practicing, just do it now. Start to share your personal stories and start to engage or interact with an audience like right away. And that wouldn't have even occurred to me. So I'm very grateful to Carl for making me do it, for actually planting that thought in my mind. And here we are because of him. I think I can now actually add him in. Let me see. Fourth time lucky. Thank you to Suzanne, who's just joined us too, by the way. Here we go, at last. Well, I don't know what happened there, but we finally connected.
And you told me I can't swear, so
yeah, we can't swear or call each other names. Can I just get the audience to notice, right? Look at Carl's reaction on his face and mine when we finally connected. That there is a positive impact on each other. We bring the smiles, we bring the laughter. Here is a friend who positively improves my health and well-being.
bloody hell, right, okay, bottle me up.
Thank you for joining us, Carl.
You're welcome.
We were talking about you while you were trying to connect. So I've introduced you and I've told people who you are and that sort of jazz.
I heard a bit of it in the to-ing and fro-ing, so yeah, thank you.
Just so people get the gist. So thank you, publicly, thank you for your contribution to my own positivity and the things that I like to share and create with other people. I like that you will push me. You're like the motivator, the driver, the person who will positively encourage me to do things even when I don't think that I can.
You ask anyone, yeah, they all say it about me. If anyone comes to me with something they want to do, I'm always very much just go and do it. Go and do it. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Do it now. Do it now. So that's enough about that, though. I want to talk about you and
not sure what's happening.
What positively, I know what's going on. It's almost as bad as mine. What positively influences, affects, or impacts you? Now, you and I talk about nature a lot, and you have a lot of nature stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I want to know what and how.
Right. Okay. So, well, there's a million and one things. I'm sure I could probably list, I don't know, 100, but I won't. I'll narrow it down a little bit. But I'll give you an example. Yesterday, we'd had a bit of a party, Gabriella and I, on Saturday night for her daughter, and we woke up a little bit fuggy. And Gabriella's suggestion was to her suggestion was to go for a walk somewhere nice and wild.
Love it.
So we picked a local nature reserve. If you're in my area, which is kind of Cambridgeshire, Essex, Suffolk border, Foulmere, Foulmere RSPB Reserve. It's an absolute belter. Of a little, it's not a very big reserve, but it's just a lovely place to be. And the reason for that is there's so much to look at, and I think it's true of anywhere that's kind of not in an urban setting, but I'll come to that in a sec actually. Anywhere that's not in an urban setting, so you could be on a field margin, or if you've got a local railway path or canal tow path or something like that, just somewhere that distracts your mind away from the things that might be making you feel less positive than you normally would be. I think for me, and certainly Gabriella shares this, when we're walking, we've got such attention to the things that we're seeing. There isn't space in our minds to think about anything that's negative. You know, you might be looking at a flower or something that's crawling along the top of a fence, you know, whatever that may be it a lizard or a beetle or whatever.
I've walked with you too, and you literally absorb every detail of everything around you, every plant, every animal, and you have this genuine enthusiasm for the nature around you. Yeah, I've seen how it impacts you and how it has a positive effect on you.
I think, and it doesn't matter whether it's something you know. In fact, sometimes it's better if you don't know it. If you don't know what something is, but it piques your interest, because, you know, then you can take it in a little bit more, take some photographs, take that information away with you, look it up, or even look it up on the Lens app or something like that on your phone. And all the while you're doing this, you're completely immersed. It kind of forces mindfulness without you even realizing it. That's why I like it.
Yeah. So you're saying that being out in nature and walking and things like that and just noticing nature reduces stress for you, clears your mind.
Yeah. It's not like it doesn't. You don't even think about the stress. You don't. That's how it is for me anyway. I can only speak for myself, but you don't even think about the stress or the troubles or any of the things that might drive you to be unhappy. If you're truly paying attention to what your surroundings, and that could just be feeling the rain on you. It's literally raining on me now. That's why I'm wearing a coat. I'm sitting outside. Sitting outside. And I thought I better put a coat on.
Staring at a cloud or feeling the wind blow through your hair.
Yeah, listening to bird song.
Cobwebs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Walking the dog is one of my favourite times of day. Even if I'm not with her and I'm out walking, I just love being outside. So, is nature something that you're naturally interested in and always have been, or is there someone or something that triggered this or inspired you to dive into the natural world?
Yeah, a couple of points there. So I think we're all naturally interested in nature from the moment we become aware of our surroundings. I think when we're kids, we're so very, very young children, babies, toddlers, we just love everything because we just want to touch everything, smell it, feel it, and it kind of slips away a little bit as you grow up, unless you've got someone who reignites that interest. And I had a teacher and my dad, two particular figures that spring to mind. I always remember I had a teacher called Bob Parkin, and he was a great guy. He used to teach all of the kids in his class about wildlife, typically birds, because he'd put an upturned dustbin lid outside the class window to put the birds to bath in, put feeders out, and he would tell us about various different, birds and bees and whatever. But also my dad, he showed me my first kestrel. And ever since then, it's been a pretty special bird for me. A kestrel's a kind of falcon, for those who don't know, and it's one of our most common birds of prey. And you'll see it perhaps if you're driving on the road or a passenger in a car. Most likely time to see it is when is when it's hovering above a verge, and it's pretty much the only bird of prey that does hover like that. So if you see a bird hovering over over a verge, it's probably a kestrel. Buzzards do it as well. But yeah, my dad showed me my first kestrel, and ever since that, he used to drive me around the country lanes in Suffolk, and I think that has kind of stayed with me. I lost it a bit through my teenage years because I just wasn't interested in. I was being a teenager, but it came back to me in my early 20s, I suppose. So it never really leaves you, and I think that's what tends to happen if you've been inspired to take an interest in nature at a young age. Beyond that toddler curiosity stage, I think that
isn't it nice
with you.
that it's always there to come
Yeah,
back to?
it's everywhere.
It's like it's an anchor, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our surroundings, our earth. I'm barefoot right now, actually, but I was barefoot on the grass this morning in my garden. I had my breakfast out there because it's actually been a nice day here in the northeast. And it was good just to connect my bare feet to the grass and just spend 10 minutes outside. That was a great way to start the day. A bit of sun on my skin and fresh air in my lungs. It's always there. So even if it's a rainy day or it's snowy and you can't really get out because it's rotten, it's nice to know that it is always there. You can always come back to it anytime.
But it's there, it's there in high streets as well, and a lot of people don't notice what's going on above their heads, for example. So me and a pal of mine, Den, we are often in the older part of our town, and there are a lot of swifts above our heads, and they make a hell of a noise. They make a really, really loud screaming sound, but no one else, I say no one else, very few other people tend to notice it, because I think sometimes people get tuned out from that kind of stuff because they're busy going to the chip shop or going to work or whatever. And
actually, because today I was in the queue for the car wash, and it was an urban area, very busy, and I'm happy just to sit there and daydream while I'm queuing. But I noticed this patch of grass beside, and there was a little young fledgling, probably a sparrow or blackbird or something like that, and it was just hopping around the grass. And I noticed the mother was just a few paces behind all the time, just And I loved sitting there just watching them. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm in a busy area with a car wash,
Mm-hmm.
and yet this bird's nesting in these hedges
Yeah.
nearby.
It's there for the taking. I mean, you know, even a spider in a corner, or a ladybird walking along the top of a bench in the high street. You know, it's always there. There's always stuff about. We just maybe could focus on it a little bit more, and
Yeah,
that might take our minds off some of the things that bring us down.
yeah, or at least help us to cope better with stressful situations, maybe, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so if we were to try and positively influence anybody watching this video, what would you encourage them to do as a positivity practice based on this conversation? What would you recommend they could do to connect to nature, just to help uplift them?
I think I would encourage people to look for them, look for the mundane, because the mundane things are probably the things that they haven't actually paid attention to. And if they do that, maybe a slug, I don't know, a snail in the garden, pick it up, put it on their hand. It's not going to hurt. I mean, it's just started raining. There's probably loads out here, but yeah, put it on your hand, and if it, well, just watch it, see what it does, see what it does. Pick it, find something that's just around you normally, even if it's on your walk to work, and pay attention to it. Look at it
I
with
see
fresh
a lot
eyes.
of there's a lot of walls around this area, and there's like little, I want to call them weeds growing in walls, but they're not. They're plants. They're plants that grow in walls. Very pretty flowers on, and people would walk past them and be like, "Oh, that needs weeding." But I actually walk past them and think, "That's really
Yeah,
pretty. I like them colours." Yeah.
yeah,
So
exactly that. Yeah,
I would like
weeds.
to invite anybody watching this, whether it's live or at a later time, leave us a comment. Let us know if you've noticed anything from the natural world that caught your attention, that just uplifted a mundane event or circumstance and made it a little bit lighter by just noticing nature around you. And let us know if you like nature and how you work with it to uplift you. I would encourage anyone else as well to bring it indoors. If you don't want to be outside, or you can't for whatever reason, bring it indoors. You probably see quite a few of my house plants around me. The one behind my shoulder here is an avocado plant. Planted it myself. It started as a seed like this one. There it is, a plant. It's brought me so much joy to watch it grow. It's taken ages.
Oh, you can't beat it. You can't beat anything. Doesn't matter what you planted. You can't beat watching it start, pop out his first two leaves, and then pop out his next two, and they're the real ones. They're the ones that look like the plant they should be, and it's like, oh, I love it. I love it.
Exactly. Or even just a bit of foraging. You know, I'm going to show you this as well. It just happened to be here. I've got this lavender that I picked from the garden yesterday. Smells great, looks nice. I'm just going to leave it right here on this counter for the next week or so. It's just a way of bringing a bit of nature indoors.
I'm down with that. I've got a couple of native trees that I've potted, and I'm growing miniature versions of them, like kind of like bonsais. So I've got an oak tree, an ash tree, and a hawthorn in a little pot, and they're sitting around the pond because they like being outside better, being native trees. But they're smaller because of the restricted. People will frown about that, but I don't care. It's making me happy. The plants are clearly happy. It's brilliant. It's
Can you
brilliant.
take a picture after this video and post it in the
I
comments?
can go and get it. It's literally there.
Oh, okay, even better.
Right, I'm going to go and get it.
Look at his enthusiasm, right? Just check out that enthusiasm in his face, in his being, in his posture. You can literally see how connecting with nature in so many different ways has a positive impact on this man's well-being. Let's see what he comes back with. I can't recognize the individual trees. I know I can't, but he'll know. Here they are.
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Right, so we've got three. We've got the I'll start with the hawthorn. Look, there we go. That's a happy little hawthorn.
That is a happy hawthorn.
It's not actually that small, to be fair. That's a couple of years old.
Wow.
That one. It's got some weeds growing in it, but they're staying. Lots of moss. All right.
Love moss.
Then we've got the oak, which is
Look
gorgeous.
at that. Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous. I've got like the trunk, if you like, wired
Did you grow
That
that
makes
from an
sense.
acorn?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no, that's not true. There was a sapling growing in a place where it was going to be nibbled on. So I whipped it out of the ground,
You've rescued
and
it.
yeah, now it's living a little life in my garden next to the pond. And then we've got, this is great because we've got little snail on the side of the pot on that one.
Even better.
It looks disgusting, but yeah, he's perfectly healthy. And then yeah, that's an ash.
Fabulous. I like the shape of them leaves.
Yeah, they're great, aren't they? So normally an ash leaf, an ash frond, would be about 5 times the size of that.
But will it
Well,
stay small because it's in a small container?
it should stay small because of the fact it's in a little pot.
Ah,
Yeah, so there we go. All right.
thank you. That's even better than a picture. I think that's a great place to end this conversation,
Yeah,
don't you?
good idea.
Well, thank you for joining me. Thank you
You're
to
welcome.
everybody who's watched us live or catches up later. We hope that this will somehow inspire you or even uplift you just by watching it. If you do choose to connect with nature in any way whatsoever, we would love to hear from you. Let us know. Until next time, thank you so much.
Thanks, Marie.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Carl.
everyone.
Bye for now. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
See you guys.
Bye.